7:35, an important health alert for you this morning as cases of bird flu continue to pop up across the country. And it is putting a strain on farmers who have been forced to slaughter millions of chickens so far. The egg shortage causing sky-high prices at the grocery stores. And here locally in Montgomery County, Maryland, a backyard chicken flock was recently impacted by the bird flu. Experts are urging the public to take precautions to reduce the risk of infection. And joining me this morning is the Maryland Secretary of Agriculture, Kevin Addix. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks for the invite.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the latest cases that you've seen in Maryland? We know, of course, we don't want to cause any panic, but it's really important for people to be informed about what's happening here.
Yes, well, I'll start just by saying that bird flu is an infectious, fairly easy spreadable disease in birds, and we know that it's endemic in the wild bird population. So as we have wild geese, snowbirds on the eastern shore, snow geese on the eastern shore, flying over, migrating, and sometimes landing in and around our commercial poultry industry. That's where we're seeing a lot of the current outbreaks, and it's really being transmitted. We're thinking, and we're testing right now, but we're thinking it's coming from the droppings of the birds, and that's getting into either the backyard flock, like we saw in Montgomery County, or into the commercial flock. And really, at that point, it's about managing it, maintaining it on that premises, containing it, and just encouraging everyone involved, from growers to hunters who are out engaging with birds, just to practice good biosecurity.
Yeah, and you talk about managing that, right? So what are some steps that the Maryland Department of Agriculture is taking right now to try to manage these outbreaks, and is there anything you can do to prevent them?
Well, prevention is key, right? So ensuring that we're getting messaging out to commercial industry and also backyard flock owners. And this I'll plug right now that if you have chickens, you're required to register them with the Department of Agriculture in Maryland. And the reason for that is so that we can get you messaging and make sure that you know how to deal with incidents if you see them, but also how you can protect your flock. The last thing we want is for your flock to get sick because right about now you're relying on those eggs, and we want you to have that. It's a great experience. So the best measure of prevention is prevention, keeping that disease from getting into the flocks, which means changing your shoes before and after you're going in and out of areas where your birds are located. Just keeping an eye on your birds, and if they look sick, making sure that you're reporting them to us so that we can give you advice on what to do, because we want to contain the spread.
Yeah, that's so important. I know, many of these cases, they have been detected through pre-market testing, which we know is normal for commercial farms. But you touched on this just a little bit. What is the plan for some of those smaller backyard flocks?
Well, I'll tell you, for a backyard flock, if a bird looks ill, then let us know, and we try to contain it. We are eternally excited, sometimes surprised by how many homeowners, individuals have backyard flocks of birds. It's a great experience. We want people to do it, and it's a great source of eggs. Be able to walk out back and get your breakfast. That's fantastic, phenomenal. But we also want to make sure that everyone who's engaged is careful, because this is a virus that's out there and around, and we've seen it increased over the years just because migratory patterns of birds have changed. There's more movement. There's more birds flying over our area, and especially the Delmarva, where we're seeing a lot of these outbreaks. There are currently 8 outbreaks on our eastern shore from Delaware to Virginia. And, it's all about managing, maintaining, containing, and just making sure that, as I said, good biosecurity. Just be smart.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a few seconds left, but I want to ask you, where can people go for more resources on this?
If they go to our website, mda.maryland.gov, you can see all resources about growing. If you go to dnr.maryland.gov, if you're a hunter, that's a great place to see. If you're a hiker hunters and you see a sick wild bird, you can get information there about what to do.
All right, great information this morning. Maryland Secretary of Agriculture Kevin Addix, thanks so much for being with us.